Welcome back to the Daily Brief. Now remember, we have been telling you what's happening here in Nairobi, not just Nairobi but beyond as well. Of course, it's all about what is trending, what's creating news and what exactly you have to say for us. So we've been interacting with you as well. Remember, the sign language interpreter right now is Walter Asewe, and for now it's time to take you through the day's diary, the local news updates and the international news updates as well, as we continue to brief you on the Daily Brief.
That's true, Shiksha. So kicking us off is Uhuru Kenyatta today flying to Moroto, Uganda, where he is expected to sign a bilateral agreement with his host Yoweri Museveni. The deal will compel Kenya to disarm Turkana pastoralists. Under the agreement, pastoral communities will be allowed to share social service facilities, environmental resources and economic infrastructure. It will also facilitate peaceful cross-border movement of livestock in search of pasture and water during drought.
And of course, moving on to what to expect, DP Ruto today is obviously going to be kickstarting his tour that is going to last 5 days of the coast region, where he will launch a number of development projects. He will be in Tana River today, where he will inspect the Kora Canal water and the coconut and nuts projects as well. He will later proceed to Kilifi, where he'll commission the Baricho water stabilization supply and visit the National Irrigation Board project on cashew nuts and coconuts.
Now, from the Nyayo National Stadium, we've got the two-day World Athletics Championships, that trials, which kick off today at this particular venue, that is the Nyayo National Stadium. Athletics Kenya will be using the event to pick the squad to the Global Track and Field Contest that starts on September 27th in Doha, Qatar. The highlight of the day is the men's 5,000 meters event.
And moving on to what is happening with the Punguza Mizigo Bill, where Third Way Alliance Party leader Ekuru Aukot will today address journalists on the progress of the Punguza Mizigo Bill. In particular, Aukot will seek to address happenings in Kirinyaga and Siaya counties where the bill has been met with opposition.
And in Parliament, embattled Samburu County Governor, that is Moses Lenol Kulal, will today appear before Senate's County Public Accounts and Investments Committee to shed light on audit queries. Lenol Kulal has not been able to access his office space since July after a court barred him over an ongoing fraud case.
All right, of course, for now, we're going to be taking you through to the top stories here locally. And of course, police in Moyale are pursuing 3 men who allegedly made away with an unknown amount of money at the Oda airstrip in Marsabit.
The money was reportedly being transported by air from Nairobi to Moyale town on the border of Kenya and Ethiopia.
The plane had only 3 occupants, a pilot, his assistant and a cash officer from Wells Fargo Courier Company.
Police say officials from Equity Bank were about to receive the money from the aircraft when the 3 men ambushed them, flashing a pistol, and grabbed 2 money bags from the plane.
They then escaped on a motorcycle through the airstrip's fence.
And elsewhere, a Kiambu resident has sued Kiambu Deputy Governor James Nyoro for allegedly reshuffling County Executive Committee members following a suspension of Governor Ferdinand Waitito.
Now, Bernard Chegemburu argues that the Deputy Governor is purporting to exercise powers that he does not have in law and could set a dangerous precedent, as Deputy Governors would usurp the authority of governors every time the latter are either sick or temporarily away.
He argues that the DGs might, or the Deputy Governors might, seek to replace the appointees of the governors or restructure the county government, only for the governors to subsequently reverse such acts.
And of course, lovers of Rumba music continue to mourn the death of veteran musician Juma Toto, who passed away on Tuesday evening at the Kenyatta National Hospital.
Toto was known as the man who gave Gor Mahia Football Club its anthem, FC Gor Mahia, in 1970.
His family says Juma died while undergoing surgery to his head following an accident near his home in Jerusalem Estate, Nairobi, last week.
fellow artists have described Juma's death as a big blow to the Kenya music scene. He was the chairman of the Kenya Music Association and is credited with the formation of the Music Copyright Society of Kenya. Of course, our condolences to the family of the late Mzee Toto.
And of course, moving to the international front, where the body of Zimbabwe's ex-president Robert Mugabe will today and tomorrow be laid out for the public to pay their respects at Rufaro Stadium in Harare.
Officials plan to transport people by bus from the provinces for the event. Mugabe's body was flown to Zimbabwe on Wednesday from Singapore, where he died last week.
And around 2,000 supporters, family members and government officials were on the tarmac at Harare Airport to welcome his remains, which arrived on a chartered flight.
The body spent the night at Mugabe's private Harare residence known as the Blue Roof, and a state funeral will be held on Saturday in Harare ahead of burial on Sunday.
And moving on to what's happening in South Africa, where Nigeria has begun repatriating more than 600 of its citizens from South Africa following a wave of xenophobic attacks.
A private Nigerian airline, Air Peace, volunteered to fly people for free back to Lagos on Wednesday.
Nigeria's government estimates that more than 300 people were on their way home.
And a second flight is expected to depart over the next 2 days with about 640 Nigerians on board.
Riots in Pretoria and Johannesburg killed at least 12 people as 1,000 foreign-owned businesses were targeted.
The violence sparked an international outcry and calls for a boycott of South Africa.
Moving on, Bahamas emergency services have listed 2,500 people as missing after Hurricane Dorian struck the islands last week.
The official count suggests that the death toll will be much higher than the current 50, though the number of missing has yet to be checked against those in the shelters.
Dorian equaled the highest winds ever recorded for a hurricane at landfall when it struck the Abaco Islands, and large areas were devastated on the Abacos and on Grand Bahama, where hundreds of people are being housed in temporary shelters in the capital, Nassau.
And straight away from those updates, we take you to a press conference that is currently ongoing courtesy of the Third Way Alliance Party. There it is. Let us listen in.
This constitution has been in place. These rights include health, water, food, security, education, among others, which Kenyans are not enjoying today even after 6 years of devolving these services. The bill is advocating for devolution beyond county headquarters. Article 176, Sub-Article 2 of the Constitution requires that every county government must decentralize its functions and the provision of its services to the extent that it is efficient and practicable to do so. Today, and all MCAs can testify that if the governor does not like a certain MCA, then the entire ward that MCA represents is punished, does not get these basic services. Today, all MCAs can testify to the fact that if they are not in good talking terms with a member of parliament, the CDF that MPs are using unconstitutionally and illegally will not be seen in that particular ward. It is that philosophy of the bill that the opponents of the bill have not understood, hence the lies they keep telling about the bill. So I just wanted to underscore the fact that it is that philosophy of the bill. What is the conceptual framework of this bill in benefiting the ordinary Kenyan? This is what the so-called leaders who are opposed to this bill have refused to understand. And this is why we ask the question, what honestly do these so-called leaders have against Kenyans? Why will you be opposed to more money going to your counties? Why will you be opposed to more money going to the wards in order to change the face of Kenyans, to change the poverty that we see in our wards? I mean, who honestly is the biggest enemy of Kenyans today as we speak? we do not hesitate to say that the biggest enemy of Kenyans today are those leaders who have enjoyed space, public space, to purportedly lead these people. But they have always wanted Kenyans to live in abject poverty, to remain in a deplorable state of affairs, so that they can keep on dancing on their poverty, on their state of affairs for their own benefit. Now, I want to move on to discuss about the lies that have been told about this bill. But I will also speak about who are those liars, those political liars. As the debate on the Punguza Mizigo bill gains its own momentum, especially with growing support, overwhelming support from members of the public and the county assemblies, it is very unfortunate that it has also been hijacked by a group of selfish political class who have told blatant lies about this bill, especially the contents of it. Before speaking to those specific lies, it is important that Kenyans know who are the leaders who are telling lies about this important bill. These leaders have, at the very outset, failed the integrity test contained in Chapter 6 of our Constitution. We also note that the lies they are telling is out of sheer ignorance of the contents of this bill. We thought their pretense that they have been educated or they have gone to any school will enable them read a 17-page document. Those leaders include, but not limited to, the following. Raila Amolo Odinga is leading this pack of liars in telling lies about this bill. Moses Wetangula is another one who, instead of supporting this bill, which is even elevating his position as a upper house with veto power, is continuing to tell lies about this bill. Kalonzo Musyoka, one of the people who have been in this public service for over 30 years, but has nothing to show for it, continues to tell lies about this bill. Moses Wetangula, Kalonzo Musyoka, Otiende Amolo, they are actually lawyers who I will expect should read this bill, critique it on its merits or demerits, or even offer alternative. But they have chosen to the low level of lying about this bill. Anwai Guru, the NYS catwalker, is now telling lies and even intimidating MCAs and celebrating lies and bribing them that this bill has failed. We will tell Anwai Guru, we know you are scared because this bill is awakening the demons, the spirits, and the ghosts of NYS. They are staring at you, and let me tell you, you can catwalk in Kirinyaga under what you call light duties, but I'm telling you, the people of Kenya are coming after you. You must account for what happened in NYS. We know you are worried about the integrity issue that this bill is addressing, which is why you're propagating lies that, one, the people of Nyeri rejected this bill when they did not even conduct public participation. That the people of Kirinyaga rejected this bill when it was not even debated. Let me tell you, it's a matter of time before you answer. Sabina Chege, another one, telling lies about this bill. You know, of course I've mentioned Otiende Amolo. And then Musalia Mudavadi, a man who is cagey, not even being able to say exactly what is contained in this bill, but keeps on telling lies about this bill. He keeps on saying that constituencies will become wards. I mean, come on. I honestly thought all these people have got some degree. They may have graduated from some universities and they are given the power to read and research. This is only a 17-page document, for heaven's sake. If you cannot read a 17-page document, then how are you reading bills passed in Parliament, which are complex? You know, this is really education. And I'm beginning to actually think, perhaps we are rated, we say we are educated in this country. Owen Bayer, another liar from Kilifi County, who is, and unfortunately all these people work with the title Honorable this, Honorable that. You know, I think they are of lies that they are telling. Gladys Wanga from Homa Bay, another one who is telling lies. Instead of telling women of Kenya that actually this bill is elevating us women to be as equal as men in elective position, she keeps on betraying the title Women Representative from Homa Bay. It is also important that we highlight what are those lies that these people have told about this bill. These lies include the following. They have said that this bill will not address the fight against corruption. It's a lie, because they should read amendments to Article 73, amendment to Article 79, amendments to Article 157, amendments to Article 229, the bill is seeking to fight and end theft of public money. And of course they are saying this because they are the ringleaders when it comes to matters corruption. They are also saying, one of the lies they are telling is that this bill will merge counties. Again, it's another fat lie. This bill is retaining all the 47 counties of Kenya. They have also said that the bill will use current 200 constituencies as wards. They have not read the amendments to Article 201, 203, and 204, where the bill is proposing that the 1,450 wards remain as they are because we want to use them as the primary units of accelerating development to our people. That the wards 1450 will be retained. In fact, we see a situation where if you use population quotas, that in the future we may also actually increase wards. If you are going to use wards as the primary unit of taking services to people's very doorsteps. Again, I want to tell these leaders, stop betraying the education you claim you have. Read this bill. They have also said that this bill is going to merge wards. What a lie. This bill is saying the 1,450 wards remain as they are. So why do these leaders keep on telling these lies? They have also said that the bill is reducing or undermining women. Again, they have not read the amendments seeking to ensure that women of Kenya are represented in 50-50 measure to that of men. And they have also not read the justification that once women are equalized at the national level, that will trigger an amendment to the Elections Act, to the Politicals Act, that will ensure we introduce a system of voting in the county assemblies that will bring gender parity. In fact, they are not telling the women of Kenya that the National Assembly will be 50-50 representation. 50 men, 50 women, making 100. And that 50 out of the 147, that is already 34% gender parity. This is something they have never been able to achieve, even though for donkey years, for decades, they have claimed to be the opposition. I think this political jealousy and envy really is so trivial, it should come to an end. They have also said that the bill is only targeting representation and that the main issue is corruption. There are 16 issues in this bill. 16. Over-representation is one of them. And Kenyans have told us we do not see the value of representation. Today, as we speak, money has not been released to the counties. While Wetangula, Raila was enjoying his perks through this so-called job, Kalonzo Musyoka, Otiende Amolo, Wanga, and the rest, while they were getting night allowance, either as watchmen or whatever position they have given themselves, while they were getting sitting allowance, while they were getting mortgage allowance, house allowance, members of the county assembly were not getting salaries. Why? Because their representation is about their job opportunities. It's not about serving the people. Because if truly they were representing Kenyans, why didn't we see them protest that the delayed disbursement of money to the counties was hurting the very counties that they come from, was hurting the very constituencies they come from, that it was hurting the very wards that they come from? This is just selfish. When they say that the bill is only targeting representation, that's not true. Representation is but one of the 16 issues. And we are also telling them, we have not seen you startlingly perform or exceptionally perform as a representative of the people from the county you come from. But they are also not telling Kenyans that the main drivers of corruption in Kenya today are the leaders, especially at the national level. It is not MCAs ambao wamejiongezea pension. It's not MCAs ambao wamejiongezea sitting allowance, night allowance. It is the members of National Assembly and senators wamejiongeza. And let me paraphrase it this way. The reason they are pissed off, they are angry with this Punguza Mizigo bill, because we have said 416 people today, called elected officials, are drawing from public coffers 42.5 billion Kenya shillings annually. We have said that's not fair. If you take the example of Nairobi County, where we all are, we have got a population of 5 million people, and they only get 14 billion annually. Yet 416 elected officials take home 42.5 billion people. Is that even fair? even arithmetically, is that fair? That the county of Nairobi, which is expected to do development, give people water, clean the streets, do development matters, build schools, is only getting 14 billion. While Parliament, which is 416 people who are not expected to do any development projects, are taking 42.5 billion Kenya shillings. That is the pain these members of Parliament are feeling. That's why they are saying that this bill is only targeting representation. It's a lie. And I hope you members of the media will actually highlight that. They have also said, another lie, that this bill increases presidential term limit to 1 to 2 terms of 7 years each. That now the president will go for 14 years. I mean, what nonsense is this? You just need to read the bill. The bill is proposing a 1 term of 7 years for the president. I mean, how can you be so daft not to even see the obvious?
That is Third Way Alliance leader, that is Ekuru Aukot. Of course, he's reacting to what has happened to the Punguza Mizigo bill so far in Kirinyaga, and a section of the media has reported that this bill has been rejected in Kirinyaga. But has it? Because the real turn of events is that it was tabled by the majority leader, and then I believe it was Evans Murango who was supposed to second this particular bill as an MCA, and he refused to do so. So technically, what would happen is that the debate on that particular bill stands suspended for at least a period of 6 months.
All right.
So now the question is, could the Kirinyaga County Assembly, within the